fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. Check it. So I figured this can be a lessons learned. Oh man, yesterday I had a beautiful trade set up. Beautiful. I entered in both for BTC and ETH, and I did the silly thing and exited because I got impatient. 2% profit. But guess what? Price went exactly to where I was planning for it to go. And that hurts my heart. So, understanding what just happened, understanding that we are on a journey and we make these mistakes. I mean, I could have made all my profits. All of it. Anyway, so let's look at it. And I'm gonna do a top down because I'm learning ICT stuff and I really like what he's showing. So let's be strategic about how I made the choice for this particular trade. And I'll show you really quickly or in relative detail as to what I was thinking both for ETH and BTC. And I'll use my backtesting section for that. So that sounds like a good time. Drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment. Let's get it going. Getting tiny. Okay. Oh, hold on. Is this thing all messed up? Sorry about that. Just make sure my screen everything is in context. Oops. Apologize for this, guys. Let's fix that. Oh, my OBS is acting up a little bit, so I apologize for that. All right, so you should be able to see everything else now, I think. All right, good. Screen's here, and I'm gonna put on the stuff. All right, so this is ETH, and I am going to head out to the weekly because something that I just learned recently, and let's do this, right? When I say learned recently, I mean like literally this week. Like I've been doing ICT vids and I like what he's telling me. So check it out. So first things first, dude is like, start at the weekly. Why? Because it gives you trend bias, right? So if you see this week it's forming a green candle, so most likely you're going to be looking for more longs, right? Potentially. So if you were in this red week, you could have spent the whole week shorting because it was forming as a red candle. So now this one's forming as a bit of a green candle this week. So I was thinking about longs. So then, roll up to the daily. And this was yesterday, right? We were forming a red candle yesterday. A green candle yesterday. And I was like, yes, okay, I'm going long. So then go down to the 1 hour and price had already made this run up, right? So I was waiting for a retracement back down to this area here. So then I was being all kinds of patient. So let's drag the replay back to about here, right? So I was being all kinds of patient. So I did, you know, further up here when it stopped here, I thought perhaps that was the end of the leg because I was really expecting it to probably eat about half of the imbalance and then continue on up. And that's not what happened. So I had a long from here and I got stopped out. It's fine. But what finally happened and I think I was looking at 2 minute, hold on. Yes. So when I finally, because when this first happened down here, it's not as decisive, is it? Right? And it kept going down. So then I waited and waited and came up on the 2 minute. And then what I was looking for was for it to not make a lower low, right? So everything else had been flowing along nicely. Let's grab this thing. Rise, drop, retrace, drop, hang out a bit, but still coming back to this little area, drop, retrace, drop, retrace, drop, right? So in terms of a continuation, you need this to break right here. So once I started seeing that it wasn't breaking below this area right here, And let's let this play forward a little bit, right? So we started doing this, and I started seeing it making this higher low. So I was like, oh yeah, we're turning. Great. Perfect. So now what I was waiting for is a a break to happen and for it to leave an imbalance, right? So I was waiting for it to break this level right there. So let's just draw that out. Something like that. And I might be like messing with it, and it might be that I was waiting for it to break something else, but I was waiting for a break, like an internal swing of a break with an imbalance. Because actually, I think this is what I took when I saw this. And I was probably looking at it to break a specific candle with gusto. So it did do that. And then it created this imbalance. I was like, ooh, perfect. So I made an entry. And this isn't a perfect break either. As I think about it, hold on. Yeah. So, okay. Is that the right one? 242? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Here we go. So we did a break here. We have this imbalance down here. So I was waiting for it to come back down into this space and hit this. And this is where I entered. Sorry, just was looking for it, right? So entered there. And, I put my stop loss below this low that had been created in with one ATR. So I was like, I think 1311 and change. 1311 like 70 was my stop loss, something like that. And then I was thinking, okay, so since we rode it all the way up here and we almost broke 1149, I wanted my take profit to be at 1142, somewhere about there, right? So I entered, and then let's see all the annoying meandering that happened after that. I actually got really close to being stopped out. Like I was really nervous right there. It didn't get stopped out, so that was great. And I left it open. I left it open until guys, freaking 5 a.m. For some reason, I lost my mind and closed it in a 2% profit for both Bitcoin and ETH. And I'm like, why did I do that? Let it play out. The loss on either of these was going to be like minuscule. I said, right? Minuscule, right? So, like, look, it took so long. And I did really well. I closed the laptop, I let it play, I didn't stare at it. I went to watch some anime for a few hours and I went to bed. And actually, let's drop this up to the 15 minutes so we don't have to watch it on the 2 minute, right? And then, you know, it meandered about for quite some time. I was in a good place, right? I was in a good place. And then finally, this morning, I closed it at like 1322 for some stupid reason. And then it started doing what I expected it to do, which is to go up. And check it out. A 1342 take profit. No muss, no fuss. Now, that would have been a 1 to 4.46 on this thing. And that thing took freaking, actually, it was all the way from here. 19 hours, bruh. 19 hours, man. Come on. Come on. Anyway, so let's dip to Bitcoin because that's the same exact situation. Same thing. I did the weekly, beautiful green candle for the week forming. And I went to the daily, nice green candle forming on the daily. So I'm looking for longs. So I go to the 1 hour. This is on BTC. Literally rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. So go down to the 2 minute, the same exact setup. Uh, Hold on. Sorry about that. Where is it? I think I got this. I got lost for a second. Yep, definitely got lost. Wait, let's go back out to 15 minutes. Sorry. I'm lost in the press. Right here. Sorry. Haha. Let's hit the replay button. Same exact setup happened yesterday. Ate the liquidity. Then I'm down on the 2 minute. And what do I see? And I'm starting to realize these things happen on a regular. All these wicking, and I'm waiting for it to make a higher low. Beautiful. Confirmed higher low, left an imbalance behind. So now I'm thinking to myself, come back down, get an entry about right here, plop it under, let me see, the low that got created after 130. So just under this guy with a 180 or after that. And then ride it up to, and I haven't looked at Bitcoin today, so I don't even know how far it went today. Basically, ride it up to the next imbalance, which I think was like, I think I was going for 1796, 960 something up here, 936. I wasn't sure if it made it there. So let's find out together because I haven't checked. So let's see. Came back down. There you go. I got my open. And then let's do the 1 hour so we don't have to wait like 10 years for it to play out. Zoom in. And at no point did I get stopped out. I don't even know if it got to my take profit. Let's see. It did. Of course it did. Both plays would have been like, butter. But anyway, so it worked out. I was looking for, you know, it kept it really simple, didn't it? So simple. All I needed to do was wait for an obvious change in momentum, get confirmation, enter on the imbalance, and let it go. Now, that also is predicated on eating all the liquidity that's there, right? So if you look at the way this thing is played out, right? Like all of these are internal sell stops, right? Where people have put their stop losses for longs, right? Because I got caught. They caught me out good on this one. They got me good. Hang on, let me get some more light in here. But anyway, the point is, if you've got a good trade setup, right, then let it flow. If you get stopped out, it's fine. But guess what? If you've properly set yourself up for a take profit and you've got a process, follow it. I'm gonna make myself big for this because this is the whole point of this, right? Lessons learned scenario. I did not, I got impatient and therefore I didn't get all the profit that I was slated to get today. Did I trade again today? No, sorry, been busy. But it's been plaguing me, right? So so automat so automatically all I can think of is, why did you do that? Why? What was the point? What did you gain from leaving the trade? So I'm on this journey, right? And these are growing pains and they suck. I don't know anybody who enjoys the process of getting good at something. Everybody just wants to go from 0 to 100. Boom. You know what I mean? Except that's not how it works. Everything requires a learning curve and time and practice and perseverance and discipline. Discipline. So that's why this vid is patience, patience, patience. I was disciplined with how I set up the entry and how I set my stop loss and my take profit. But what I was lacking in this moment was patience and trust. Trust in the setup. So it's okay. That's the other thing, right? It's okay. So guess what? It's gonna be another day. It's gonna be another trade setup. There's just always going to be another opportunity. But if I don't learn from this moment, right? If I don't take the time to really analyze why did I change my mind? Is it because I was, half asleep and I'm out of the bed at 5 a.m. and I'm looking at my phone? I'm like, oh, it hasn't moved. Why? Oh, it's probably not going anywhere. That is not rule based. That is not disciplined, you know? So, what am I going to do about it? Well, new rule. If I have my setup, I've entered into the trade, I've got my stop loss, and I've got my thing in, done. Leave it alone. Go do something else. Go look at a different coin. Go see if you can get a different setup and entry. Boom, do that. If it's sitting there for hours on end, remember these trades take a long time to play out sometimes, and sometimes they take 2 minutes, 15. I love those. It's beautiful. But are we going to get it all the time? No. And that's okay. And that's the part that everybody needs to get with the flow. I just need to get with the flow. Be like Luffy. you know? But guess what, guys? I appreciate this loss. And I'm calling it a loss in my mind because I lost my focus and I lost my patience. And therefore, it's a loss in my mind because I told myself last night when I put these two trades in, don't touch it. And then I did. And that's human nature, human emotion. And it, I will say this, I've definitely progressed since when I started because guess what? Every time when I first started, oh my God, every time I put a trade in, I was like, I was like, so like the anxiety and the stress that went with even doing that was so much, even when I was doing well, you know? And then in moments when it was constantly red, oh my, oh, my heart, what? No good. Okay. My point is this, I have gotten over that stress. And guess what? That's improvement. That is taking it to the next level. At that level, I was at level 0, bruh. I'm probably at level like, I don't know, 4 or 5 at this point, right? Because guess what? When I put that trade in now, I no longer have that anxiety. I'm no longer scared. When I get stopped out, it doesn't make my heart palpitate. But I'm still working on that. Keep the trade open to your your take profit. Just keep it open. Just let it do its thing. Now, if you see, and let me come back into the charts for a hot second, right? So if you see that so if I had seen something in this scenario, so this was like uh today, look at, man, look at this. Today is the third Tuesday? Today's Wednesday, right? The 14th? Okay. So if I had come in here, this morning at 5 a.m. and seen like, if I'd zoomed out, because that's the other problem, right? I was looking at it on the 2 minute. If I had zoomed out, say to the 15 minute, when I was looking at it at freaking 5 a.m., I would see that it was coiling up, right? Why would I bother it? It was coiling up. Actually, I think my take profit was up to 6,917,962. Did it get there? Let's see. Oh my God, it didn't. But these are the moments that you need to recognize, document it, internalize it, understand it, and defeat it. So that's what I'm going to do. Moving forward, I am going to consciously make the effort. Once my setups are in, let them ride. Done. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It'll take as long as it takes. The market will take as long as it takes. Now, that being said, on a day like this with news and weirdness happening, I might feel compelled to exit before the news drops because that's going to be like insanity. But before that, or on days when we don't have those types of news, let it rip. Just have to have rules about why. The only reason you should get out of your trade is if it's hit your take profit or you've seen, just like we saw, maybe this to the corner, just like we saw this reversal, higher low. If I'd seen a lower low actually form, then I would have gotten out because guess what? It's done. Actually, I would have been may not have been stopped out depending on where the lower low happened. So it would have to have been let me do this. So if it had formed something like we've got this low right here, right? It would have had to break below that, tap it, and then continue on this way. And then I would have been like, I should have been like, okay, it's time for me to get up out of here. But that's not what I did. But that's okay. That's life. All right, so this is a little longer than I wanted it to be, but I wanted to share that, share my thoughts, share how I'm feeling, and it's okay. All right. We're getting better. The point is, the other thing to note is, holy crap, it was amazing. So next time, it'll be amazing. So I'll leave with that positivity right there. Even if I got out early, the setup was solid. It worked like a pro. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So now, every time I see that setup, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it like a boss, like a violin. All right, I'm gonna stop being silly. All right, guys, I am going to call that, and then probably I'm gonna go learn some more stuff so I can be better and amazing all day, every day. Say bye to Luffy, and I will, drop a like. Let me know your thoughts. Have you done this as well? I'm sure you have if you're a beginner like me. You know what I mean? Sure you have. Let me know what you think about it. Like, what did you do to fix that? Huh? All right, cool. All right, so that's basically it. Shakira, out.